He's reading a book to his 5-year-old granddaughter. One of my friends reading a book, and she's so cute. She's nestled up next to him, and she's so into it. She loves it. It's a book about the stars, right? And they get done with the book about the stars, which was last summer. It was a beautiful summer night. She closed the book. She said, "Grandpa, let's go look at the stars." So she grabbed his hand and he, walked out with her. And she was so excited. And they opened it. It was a clear night, summer night. And just as they got out there, look up at the stars. God's providence, they see a shooting star, right? And he says that his little granddaughter just, did her eyes like that, grabbed his hand. He could tell she was making a wish, right? And she opened up her eyes and she said, "Grandpa, you want me to tell you what I wished for?" He said, "Sure, honey, what did you wish for?" She said, "I wish you would love me forever." That's when all the girls go. But see, God, the reason I tell that story even to guys is because of this. The same thing that little 5-year-old girl wants, it's the same thing that my tattooed big brawn buddy wanted. It's the same thing that Sherman wants, right? The plays for the Seattle Seahawks, right? Every time he has a picture on, what's he do? What's everybody doing in the NFL? Me, praise me, praise me, praise. What are they doing? They're doing the same thing as that little girl, the same thing the guy on the plane, the same thing as you, and the same thing as me. I need love. Like, no matter how many, you could have 120,000 people, you could have 500,000 people, you could have 1 million people all screaming how much they love you. It will never satisfy the deepest desire of the human heart, because the desire of the human heart is for an infinite love, fellas. We don't just desire to be loved a little bit or a whole lot. We desire to be loved infinitely. Infinitely. You guys know St. Augustine, I quoted them before, right? Is everybody here Catholic? Come on, St. Augustine, right? St. Augustine, what's he do? He chases the same thing as this guy. He chases after the money, chases after the power, chases after the fame. Finally, he meets St. Ambrose, right? Who was the Bishop of Milan. Bishop of Milan, he goes, "Ambrose, I'm not happy. Teach me how to be happy. What's the key to happiness?" He says, "Let me introduce you to Jesus." And then he writes that passage, "Oh God, finally, you made us." You all know Tom Brady? Everybody know Tom Brady. Everybody knows St. Augustine. Everybody knows Tom Brady, right? So Brady's getting interviewed on 60 Minutes. YouTube this. I always love to tell this story. Brady's getting interviewed. We'll call the interviewer's name Bob, right? Bob's sitting there talking to Brady, and he says to Brady, "Tom, you must be the happiest guy in the world." This was in 2005. He said, "Tom, you must be the happiest guy in the world." And Brady's like, "Why?" And I loved his comments because they were so honest. And he said, "Why?" And he said, "Because you have everything anybody could ever want. Anything a man wants, you have." And Brady's like, "What?" He's like, "You just signed a $60 million contract." $60 million, fella. $60 million contract. She got all the money in the world. He said, "Besides that, you're dating the most beautiful woman in the world. Jezebel, or Giselle, whatever it is." He said, "Besides that, right, you've got like all this fame, right? You walk outside, everybody knows who you are on the cover of every magazine. You must be so happy. You have everything any guy could ever want." And Brady goes like this. He's like, "Bob, I look at everything that I have, man. All this money, and all this fame, and all this pleasure, all this women, all that. I have all that. Look at all that." And I go, "Is that it? Is that all the world has to offer me? There's got to be more. There's got to be more." And Bob, the interviewer, falls off his chair. Because all Bob wants is what Tom has. Because Bob is convinced that what Tom has is what's going to make Bob happy, right? And so Bob, he recovers and he says to Tom, "Well, Tom, what's the more? What are you looking for? What's the more?" And Brady's face gets almost desperate. Watch the video. He's like, "Wish I knew. Wish I knew." And at that moment, I want to jump through the screen. Like, "Hey, Tom, I know what it is, man. I know what it is, brother. You got everything that the world offers except the one thing that you need to fully be satisfied. You're missing the one thing that your heart is made for. And the one thing is actually not a thing at all. It's a person. The person's named Jesus. Your heart's made for Jesus, Tom." That's what I would tell him. That's what I would tell him.